Hi, welcome back to At Home Chef Dad. My name is Joel, and if this is your first time here, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you consider hitting that like button. It tells YouTube that it's worthy of being shown to other people, so that could really help us out a lot. This is one of the recipes we go to that is loaded with flavor. It's absolutely fulfilling, nutritious, comforting, and it's just a great dish. It's also a great dish. It's one of those dishes that reheats the next day and tastes even better the next day than it does when you make it that night. And today what I'm doing is a green chicken chili, or a chili verde, or a chicken chili stew, whatever you want to call it. But basically it's going to be shredded chicken, and you could use turkey for this, you could use pork shoulder, you could use ground turkey, ground chicken, you could use ground beef. But I found that this dish works so great with boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You could throw in some chicken breast if you wanted to. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to cook the chicken in some stock. I've got a low sodium stock here. I'm not going to go into detail on buying stock or making stock, but when you do buy stock, try to get a good quality, low sodium stock. And the foundation of flavor for this chicken chili is going to be a blend of roast poblanos, jalapenos, onion, garlic, and tomatillos. Now, I would prefer to have fresh tomatillos. Today, I couldn't find them, so I did go with some canned tomatillos. I'm going to drain the water out of these. I'm going to roast them along with my peppers and onions, and then we're going to hit that with an immersion blender and continue cooking the chicken in that, and that's what's going to make the chili. I'm also going to add some white beans. I thought chicken chili, green chili. I thought, you could throw, I like beans in my chili, you know that already, but I thought some good cannellini beans or some northern beans would go good with this chili. One of the main flavors I'm also adding, besides some salt, is I have a dried Hatch chili powder. Love this stuff, it's delicious. Doesn't add a lot of heat, but it does add a lot of flavor. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my peppers and onions ready for the oven. I've got my oven preheated to about 450 degrees, and I'm going to roast these off for about 20-30 minutes until they get some color to them, until the onions soften up and the garlic softens. Doesn't matter about what size of cut you've got here. Rough chop is good. Big pieces are fine because we're going to hit it in the processor or an immersion blender at the end. So I've got a couple of poblanos here. Comes right out. Get those peppers in. Don't want to waste that. And depending on how much heat you like, you could throw 1 or 2 jalapenos, or even throw some serranos or habaneros. Today I'm going to take the seeds out of 1 jalapeno. Or at least most of the seeds. Give that a rough chop. Leave some of the seeds in there for some heat. Got a small onion here. I'm going to put about half this onion, maybe 3/4 of it. Again, rough chop. Most of that small onion. Got some garlic. I like garlic. I love garlic. I'm going to throw about, 10 or 15 cloves. Little salt right here. Gonna hit it with a little olive oil just to help it get some color to it. And then this is going in the oven. While this is roasting in the oven, we're gonna get our chicken ready. So like I said, I do prefer fresh tomatillos, but they didn't have them at the market today. So I got a can of canned tomatillos. They came packed in water, so I drained all the water off. Gonna add these to our peppers, onions, and garlic. I'm going to give that a little stir. And this is going in the oven at 450 for about 30 minutes. Now while that's in the oven, let's get our chicken ready. So I have about 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I've got some low sodium organic chicken broth. I'm going to go ahead and just add the whole thing. It's 32 fluid ounces. Bring the heat on. And I've got my chicken thighs. Like I said earlier, you could use chicken breast, you can use bone-in, whatever you want. After it cooks and simmers for a little while until it's fork tender, we're going to take it out, cool it down, and shred it to pieces. So carefully lower these in. Add my lid, bring to a simmer. When it hits a simmer, I'm going to lower it to low and just let it go for 15-20 minutes or until the chicken is fully cooked. Chicken came up to a boil, so I lowered it down to a simmer. So my chicken has been simmering for about 25 minutes. It should be done. Let's take a look. Easily comes apart. I'm now going to transfer my chicken and let it cool down before I shred it. Definitely save that stock. We're going to use some of that stock in our chili, and what we don't use is just so flavorful. You can use it on something else in a few days, but it's delicious. So don't waste that stock. I let those roast for about 35 minutes. I couldn't help. I had to let them get a little more color. Gonna add a ladle of that stock. 2 ladles. That'll help the immersion blender work. If you don't have one of these, it's one of my favorite toys in the kitchen. Got it back on the heat. Nice consistency. Let's give it a try. It's got some nice spice to it. Salt's right. It's really good. Okay, the salt seems right. I've got a can of low sodium organic Great Northern beans. Cannellini beans would be great. And about a tablespoon of the hatch pepper, a little more spice. Give this a stir. Let that come back to a simmer, bring all those flavors together, and then we'll get our chicken in there All right, chicken is cooled down enough to handle, so I'm going to shred it. You can do this with forks. You can do this with your utensils. So let's get the chicken into the pot. Give it a nice stir. Turn the heat back up, bring it back up to a simmer. This is ready to eat, but honestly, if you can hold off for about an hour and just kind of let it sit on the stove at a really low simmer, let those flavors come together, it'll be worth it. Okay, I can't wait anymore. I've got to give this a try. Smells so good. Let's go eat. Oh, this smells so good. So, got a nice warm corn tortilla. You could add some jalapeno, fresh jalapeno, slice that up, put it on top if you don't think it's hot enough. I got a small bowl of avocado, guacamole, smashed avocado, whatever you want to call it. I like mine with just salt and lime juice. About 5 large avocados. I broiled some limes in the oven. Got a little char on them. Gonna add a little lime juice onto my chili here. And some tostada chips. But before I add all this on top, I'm just gonna give it a try as it is. Hot. Oh, it's real hot. It almost burned my tongue. Oh, it's good. That's delicious. I'm gonna put some avocado on it. You could put some sour cream or maybe some Greek yogurt if you're trying to be a little healthier. Eat it with some corn tortillas or flour tortillas. I bet some good Monterey Jack cheese or some queso fresco would be delicious on this. Either way, it's a delicious meal. I'd consider this a pretty healthy meal overall, but it's delicious. I'm going to enjoy it. So again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please leave a comment below. Let me know who's watching. If you like it, please consider hitting the like button and dropping a comment below. So if you haven't done it already, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us. And until next time, thanks for watching. Have a good night.